Greetings, everybody! T-Prower once again. We all know that Twilight Sparkle has a tendency to freak out whenever things don't go the way she intends, or when something urgent and unexpected crops up that throws her meticulously crafted schedule out of whack. We've witnessed this over the course of this show, and it's only this season that her freakouts have been given an official name: Twilighting. Sometimes it's for matters that seem trivial, like a late friendship report. But other times, they're well warranted, like when she was led to believe that she'd be ruler of Equestria in only a few days. She has also, in the past, fretted over perceived imperfections on her part, feeling that, as a princess, she should set a better example, despite still being a pony like any pony else. Today, we'll see her twilighting over something that may seem inconsequential to others, but is a subject near and dear to her heart: her perfect record with the library, though that itself evolves into a more altruistic worry. Without further ado, let's jump right into Season 9, Episode 5, The Point of No Return. Let's get to it! Hi, Derpy. Hi, Spike.
Twilight, Mouse here.
Hi, Twilight. Special delivery.
We just had a really heavy delivery today.
You work so hard, Derpy, and yet you never lose that cheerful optimism of yours. Bless you. And it's always good to hear you speak.
Is it a deluxe set of special edition ogres and oubliettes figurines that I'm totally surprised by and haven't been hinting that I need forever?
Somehow I doubt it, little buddy.
It's for Twilight. Thank
Sorry, kiddo.
you. You're welcome.
Bye, Derpy.
It's from Princess Celestia.
So's this. Really? She couldn't have put it into the box?
Never question the ways of her
I
sunniness.
have been conducting a thorough cleaning of the castle, and I came across a few items of yours in your old room. I thought you might want them back. I didn't
A
even
few.
know I left anything.
Right.
Aw, look! Remember this? It's the macaroni picture frame Cadence helped me make when I was a filly.
Now that is an adorable picture. I love seeing Twilight's whole family, Spike included. Seems Twi's missing her cutie mark, though.
Who could forget a masterpiece like that?
Spike!
G1 Star Swirl figure! And some of my
G1.
favorite school scrolls.
Ha!
And here's my extra credit report on the impediments of using magic in everyday chores.
I guess that's why they don't allow magic in Hogwarts detentions. Still, how much you want to bet that Starlight tries to speed up her chores with magic all the time? She seems the type to, the little renegade.
Ah! Still so true!
Is my Smash Fortune comic in there? I've been looking for that for years.
Careful there, kiddo.
Hold this.
Oh no, oh no, oh no!
And
What's wrong?
so it
This is like an
begins.
old library book.
Exactly! It belongs to the Canterlot library. That means it's
Obscenely overdue.
overdue.
Every bookworm's worst nightmare.
You don't understand, Spike. I have a perfect library book return record.
Had a perfect record.
Spike, don't rub it in.
Never turned in a book even a minute late. And this one has been overdue since I left for Ponyville.
That's quite a long time.
Make sure you bring this one back on time. We've got a long waiting list of ponies who can't wait to read it.
Knowing what it is, I'm sure.
Oh, of course you won't, dear. If there's any pony I can trust to take care of a book, it's you, Twilight Sparkle. After all, you still hold the best book borrower title.
Gee, way to unintentionally rub in what a disaster would be if she messed up. Also, That picture is pure adorkableness.
Ooh, I hope I do forever.
Aw, that blush.
Spike! Quick, find me that old copy of Predictions and Prophecies.
Boy, isn't this a blast from the past.
Well, it was a gift from Moondancer, but...
Oh, Spike, you know we don't have time for that sort of thing.
Whoopsie.
And then Celestia sent me to Ponyville and I forgot all about this. Dusty Pages prided herself that no books were damaged or lost on her watch, and I failed her. I failed myself.
Oh, Twilight, it's not your fault. A lot's happened to you since you left for Ponyville. Defeating Nightmare Moon, making friends, and everything that followed after. Spanning 8 whole seasons up to this point. Can anyone really blame you for letting something like this slip your mind for so long?
I take it we're going to Canterlot?
Yep, we're going to Canterlot.
The sooner the better, I guess.
At least you can keep up with her now. She doesn't want to be seen in her shame.
Why are we hiding? Don't you want to return your book?
Yes, but what if some pony sees me in there? I'm the Princess of Friendship. Everywhere I go, ponies recognize me. I'll stick out like a sore hoof.
Princess Twilight Sparkle in a library? Stop the presses!
Breaking
Doesn't feel,
news.
Spike. What if Dusty Pages revokes my library card?
Another adorkable Twilight face. Someone actually made a temple of that library card too. So of course I had to make one for myself.
Or bans me from ever entering the building again.
Don't you already have most of those books in your collection at home?
Yes, but the ones in there have a special Canterlot library-y smell.
You sniff books?
You don't?
A lot of people do, actually.
I used to live in a library. If I'm not a good example of proper book-borrowing behavior, then what kind of princess am I?
One that makes mistakes like every pony else. Trust me, once you return that book, you'll feel way better.
Thanks,
Well
Spike.
said, Spike.
Let's go. Ah!
Relax, Twi. It's just Sweet Biscuit. Very sneaky, if not for the loud teleportation sound. A clever disguise.
I have a book to return.
Princess Twilight! So good to see you!
Busted.
Need some recommendations from the new release section? Is that the new edition of Moon Curve 7 Theories on Bending Time?
If it has to do with time, keep it away from Starlight.
No books today. Thanks.
No books? Who are you and what have you done with Twilight Sparkle?
But I do need to speak with Dusty Pages about a sensitive matter.
Dusty who?
Dusty Pages, the head librarian, she's worked here forever.
Obviously long before her time.
I'm sorry, Princess, I don't know her. Now, was there some other way I can help the library's best book borrower?
Still there, after all these years.
Ask her where to return an overdue book. It's no big deal. It happens all the time.
Not to me, it doesn't.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Fine. Fine! Oh no, I didn't even think about the late fine. A book out this long will probably cost 1,000 bits.
Theoretically, depending on the county.
We have an overdue book.
Oh, well, that's no problem at all. In fact, it happens all the time.
See?
I'll just find it in the card catalog.
Now that's old school.
905 got it.
Oh, wow. Yeesh. I haven't seen a book this late in, well, ever.
You need to go and see First Folio in the grossly overdue book return office for ponies who should know better.
Don't put
Way to
any
twist the
punches
knife
those
in
names,
deeper.
do ya?
And that office would be?
In the basement because of the shame.
You're really not making her feel any better, miss.
Whoa.
Gross.
Looks like no pony ever goes down here.
No pony except undependable rule breakers who deserve all the horrors this hallway holds.
And their faithful dragon companions.
Misery does love company.
It looks like First Folio left a note on the door.
Abandon hope all ye who enter.
On a normal
Out
basis,
to lunch
maybe.
on Restaurant Row. Guess we'll have to try back later.
No, I can't wait another minute to return this book. In the time it took us to get there, I racked up another 17 bits in late fees.
That's an
We're going to
alarmingly quick rate.
'Cause I'm starving. Oh, you mean to find First Folio?
And then maybe get some food.
Takeout?
Tell me
Ah,
if
the
there's any
tasty
librarians with
treats.
ponies.
Twilight, we've tried this at 3 other restaurants already.
And my late finds are already up another 26 more bits.
Sorry, kiddo.
Waiter, we're ready to order.
Guess saffron and coriander are
3
busy.
samosas, 2 curry specials. Do you think that's enough for the 2 of us?
I would probably order some naan as well. For the table?
Sounds great.
Man, Spike's so used to being Twi's #1 assistant that this kind of thing must be second nature to him. Very sweet of him to help out like that, though.
Twilight, is that you?
Hello, Moon Dancer.
Fun! I'm just visiting. No real reason.
Well, it's good to see you. I'm just meeting my friend, First Folio, for lunch. Do you want to join us?
What a coincidence!
I mean, thank you.
Princess Twilight, good to meet you. Did you know your picture is still up in our library as the best book borrower?
So we've
Yeah,
seen.
I was hoping I could talk to Dusty Pages about that.
Oh, Dusty Pages left the library moons ago. Didn't you know?
Mm-mm.
She's been out of the loop,
She
my
was
dear.
forced to leave. It's so sad. She loved the library.
Wait, forced to leave?
Yeah. She had a perfect librarian record until one careless pony didn't return a book. Ruined it all.
Good grief. This episode ought to be subtitled, How to Rub Salt in a Guilty Pony's Wounds. Poor Twilight's conscience must be in tatters by now.
Are you okay, Twilight?
Just peachy.
Do you excuse me?
That's why you only order spicy if you can take it.
Nice job, little buddy.
Twilight, what's wrong?
Dusty Pages isn't working at the library anymore because I didn't return this book. Spike, I think I got her fired.
And now Twilight's guilt over not returning a book is superseded by the idea that it caused a hard-working library pony to lose her job. Am I the only one that feels like the poor girl seriously needs a hug?
Twilight, the library is that way!
She's not
Change
going
of
there
plans.
anymore.
We're going to Dusty's house. She used to invite me over for tea all the time.
But what about your late fees?
They're not as important as making things right.
You've got a good
So you're
heart,
not gonna return
sweetie.
the book?
No, Dusty Pages is. It's my fault she lost her job. So if I give her the book, she can get her old job back. It'll fix everything.
Sounds reasonable on paper. Hello.
You see the sign? No sales ponies.
As Eustace
I'm
would
not
say,
selling anything.
no solicitors.
No carolers either. No surveys, no petitions, no free literature.
Jeez, this dude must really hate visitors.
No problem. I'm just looking for some pony who used to live here. I'm pretty sure this was her house.
Dusty Pages?
Yes!
That's the one.
Hold on. She moved to Silver something. Shoals, Seas, Surfer, whatever. When you find her, give her this.
And I thought Sunburst let his mail
Been
pile
stacking
up.
for years. And tell her to change her address.
Seems Twi's not the only forgetful one. Montage! Well, scratch this place off the list. Nope. Not here either. Honestly, Twy, why would you think Silverstream would know who Dusty Pages is? Just because her name has silver in it? You gonna ask Silver Spoon next? Silver Shill? Silver Quill? Your mind must be really frazzled to make such a questionable leap in logic. Now this looks nice.
Silver Stable Community for the best golden years. This has to be it.
I hope so. It's the last silver spot on the map we haven't looked.
Process of elimination at its finest.
Whoa! This place is...
Terrible, I know. There's not a single bookshelf in sight.
Only you would think that, Twy.
Excuse me.
Yes! How may I help you?
Hello,
Do you
miss.
have a resident named Dusty Pages?
Oh, yes! Her apartment is in the next complex, ground floor.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't believe that my carelessness sent her here, when she could be happily surrounded by millions of wonderful smelling books.
You realize that might just be a you thing, right?
So far as you know, kiddo.
There she is. Here we go.
Well, this is awkward.
She's bound to be back soon. Maybe we should just wait here.
No, we are fixing this now. This place isn't that big. We can find her.
She's as sick of this wild goose chase as anybody would be.
Sorry to interrupt your plein air painting.
Hello, Apple
For Dusty
Rose.
Pages. Have you seen her?
Sure have.
You need to be more specific, Twy.
And...
She had to leave early to get to her Bangby de Tea session.
Which is right before she leads the woodworking class with me. Then she's on to windsurfing.
Oh, and don't forget theater rehearsal. Dusty's playing the lead role. Again.
Then there's her band practice later.
Thank you.
Dusty's got quite a busy schedule.
Wow, Dusty sounds like one busy pony.
Oh, she's just filling her days with distractions to cover the pain of losing the best job ever. But not for long.
Is that really the only reason for it, Twy? Just missed her. Hello, Mr. Waddle. It's like tracking down General White in Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Sweet hang time on that flip. Pony and dragon overboard. Wowza! The nose on this guy! Spoiled rich wishes she had a nose like that. No offense, dude. Twy's about to snap. There she is!
Dusty Pages, finally! Come on, Spike!
Wait, she looks pretty happy up there.
Rock on,
Trust me,
Dusty!
it's all an act. She'll be a lot happier when I deliver the good news that she can go back to working at the library.
Good grief. Rude.
5, every pony?
Oh, Twilight Sparkle, my stars!
She's still happy to see
It's
you.
so wonderful to see you. What are you doing here?
Long story,
Over a
Dusty.
question for you. I need to tell you something.
Well, you brought my mail. Oh, thank you.
Aww.
No, I mean, yes, we did. But that's not why we're here. I let you down. And I can't forgive myself until I set things right.
I
Oh,
don't remember
Twy.
you doing anything wrong.
You told me to take special care of a book I checked out from the Canterlot library. And I never brought it back.
It was you that had that book out? The one that broke my perfect record?
Shocking, but true.
But now you can bring it to Canterlot Library and get your job back.
No, thank you. I don't ever need to see that library again. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have somewhere to be.
Now, at face value, that's a worrisome reaction, given what you came to do. But don't worry, Twi. Dusty's wish to forget about the library is less your fault than you think.
Do you mind?
Come on, Twi. It's a nice tune.
I don't understand. If Dusty Pages won't go back to Canterlot Library and explain everything, then she won't be able to get her job back. Even worse, her record will remain imperfect.
And is that such a bad thing?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't matter anymore.
Really?
Well, maybe a little bit. Oh no, Bits! The late fines! How much do I owe now?
Probably enough to put a dent in your royal treasury, if it worked that way.
You don't want to know.
It would have been worth all the bits in Equestria if I'd made things right with Dusty. I wish I knew why she won't go back.
Why don't you ask her?
She didn't seem to want to talk.
But you surprised her, and she probably had something else on her schedule. That thing is Pat. Come on. What have you got to lose?
Now that
I
I've messed
love
up
how
this
supportive
much,
you are,
nothing.
Spike.
You're right, Spike. It's worth a try. Where do you think she went? Crochet? Bingo? A squishy fruit food fight tournament?
This place has it all.
Hey, every pony! We coming!
Hold your fire! Ew, yuck.
Stop! We just want to talk to Dusty Pages for a moment. Please?
Time out!
Man, she is
Should rest
awesome.
here. We're not actually here for the game.
I was hoping you'd give me another chance to talk to you about the library book.
She really needs this,
This
Dusty.
really means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I know I ruined your life by not returning my book on time, and I will do anything I can to make it up to you. Even promise to never take a book out of the library again, if that's what it takes.
To think that Twilight Sparkle, Bookworm Sans Precedent, Egghead Supreme, would utter such words! I'm gobsmacked!
That is not the reaction we expected.
I'll bet not.
Dear, you've got it all backwards. I'm not upset with you.
You're not?
No. If I'm mad at any pony, it's me.
You've been beating yourself up for nothing, Twi.
All those years I spent hiding away in that library, trying to be perfect. When your book never came in, I felt something exhilarating.
What was it?
Freedom, of course.
From books?
From perfection. I was too stubborn to know when to call it quits. It took your mistake to make me realize that I wasn't living the life I wanted.
You mean you weren't fired? You left the library because you wanted to?
Yep.
Twilight, your late book was the best thing that ever happened to me. Now I'm not afraid to try things I might fail at. In fact, sometimes messing up teaches me more than getting it right.
You
You're
can
sure
learn a
you
lot
don't
from
wanna
your own
return it and get that
mistakes.
perfect record back?
What part of timeout did you not
It
understand?
was a yellow one. You can still see the words.
But it'll have a stain.
Well, that doesn't change the truth inside it. Wait, did you even read that thing?
She had other things on her mind, Dusty.
No, I guess I didn't. Perfection.
And the next part?
The impossible pursuit.
How serendipitous.
Oh, that might have been useful to look at earlier.
Would have saved you a lot of trouble.
Your total late fees come to...
However much it is, I'll cover it. Do you have a monthly payment plan?
28 bits.
No!
That's it?
Yeah, most ponies don't know it caps at a month. Probably because we don't tell them.
From what I've looked up, library fees do cap a certain amount. It varies between counties, though.
Thank you. Your account is back to normal. Although we will be taking down your best book borrower picture.
It's only fair.
Not really necessary. It just seems so permanent. I mean, I did return the book, after all.
Twilight.
Okay, letting the perfection go. You want me to reshelve this for you?
No, it's an old edition. We've already replaced it with a new copy.
In that case, can we keep it? It might be a good reminder to have around.
A symbol of what she learned today.
It's got a stain.
That's what makes it perfect.
Well said, your studiousness. Now this was a sweet little episode. After the mind-boggler that was the season premiere, the twist ending of episode 3, and the 200th episode, this was a nice little bit of slice of life, starring our favorite royal bookworm and her faithful assistant. Major kudos to GM Barrow for this one, especially since this was her last episode of the show, as well as to Tara Strong, Kathy Wesluck, and Ellen Kennedy. Honestly, an episode like this could very easily have happened back in Season 1, since it deals with a part of Twilight's character that's remained unchanged over the years, her love of books and libraries, not to mention the overall structure of the story. Still, it also feels like a follow-up to Amending Fences, since it features Twi once again working to solve a problem that was caused by events that occurred in the very first episode. It's likely no small coincidence that we saw Moondancer in this one too, and it was great seeing her again, even if only for a little bit. Now, on the one hand, Twilight feels like the last pony in the world to have an overdue library book, considering her fastidious nature and adoration of literature. On the other hand, Twilight does seem like the type to keep a book so long she'd forget to return it, since she gets so lost in reading that she becomes deaf to her surroundings. We've seen that happen to her cost several times, like in Spike at Your Service. However, this particular book has been forgotten since Twilight first left for Ponyville, so we're talking way overdue, and she can't rest until the matter is settled and the fine paid. Still, Twilight can't be judged too harshly for this. She's had a lot on her mind since she left for Ponyville, so I think she can be forgiven for being a little forgetful. It's a rather big deal for her, though. She not only had a perfect borrower's record at the Canterlot Library, but she was also on good terms with the old librarian, Dusty Pages, and feels that she let her down by being negligent like this. When she gets to Canterlot, she learns from Moondancer and First Folio, who deals with extensive overdue fees, that Dusty no longer works at the library, and that Twilight's late book was responsible for that. Naturally assuming the worst, Twilight believes that Dusty was fired because her perfect record as a librarian was tarnished, and sets out to find her and make amends, feeling that Dusty's been grieving from such a blow for all these years, and that by having the book returned by her, all will be made right. While Twi is projecting a bit, equating Dusty's feelings with her own if she was in her place, it is rather sweet that she forgets about her own problems and is only concerned with making things right with a pony she feels she let down. She has such a good heart, and shows great maturity in putting aside her own issues for those of others. And speaking of good hearts, there's Spike. Once again, the little guy is at his best, competent, supportive, and compassionate. He knows Twilight's blowing the situation out of proportion, and doesn't hesitate to crack jokes about it, but he's also doing his best to give her rational advice to calm her down and help her get through this. He knows how Twilight's mind works, and despite the aggravation caused by their endeavor, he stays by her side no matter what. Where would Twilight be without you, little buddy? So Twilight and Spike first have to track down where Dusty lives, going through every location with Silver in the name, even bizarrely asking Silver Stream, until they come to the Silver Stable Retirement Community. Then, they have to hunt down Dusty herself amidst her packed schedule, being involved in a lot of activities. When they do find her, she's delighted to see Twilight again, and to have all her mail delivered, but turns cold instantly when reminded of the library, not wanting to talk about it. Of course, Twilight feels it's because of her. However, it doesn't take long for Twilight to find out that Dusty was never upset with her, but with herself. She felt stifled, compelled to keep up her perfect librarian record, and too stubborn to just give it up, staying cooped up in the library. When Twilight forgot to return that one book, finally putting an end to that record, Dusty felt free for the first time, finally able to try new things without fear of failure, learning from new mistakes. That forgotten book was Dusty's key to living the life she wanted, however unintended it was. She even helps Twilight by showing her what the book was actually about, since she never had a chance to even read it. The impossibility of perfection. Something she would have done well to have looked at to save her a lot of trouble. It even gets a nice big fruit stain on it to drive home the point. Some people can be obsessed with perfection, despising failure or mistakes, either in themselves or in others, feeling that even the tiniest mishap ruins everything and reflects poorly on who they are. Twilight, unfortunately, falls into that same category. Now she doesn't want to disappoint the pony she cares about. She's a compassionate perfectionist, caring more about how her actions affect others than they do herself. It's important to recognize, however, that nobody's perfect, and everyone makes mistakes. To err is human, after all, or, in this case, is Pony. We need to accept that mistakes and the unexpected will happen, and to learn from those experiences as well. As Starlight told her dad in the parent map, part of growing up is making mistakes and learning from them. Sometimes, these mistakes might even lead to unexpected and happy accidents, like Dusty being able to live freely. Her conscience eased, Twilight returns the book and pays her fine, finding out that it's actually quite small, having maxed out after a month. Still, Twilight has to accept losing her perfect book borrower record, which is a small price to pay, though a slightly vexing one for her. She also opts to keep the copy she has, as a reminder of what she learned from Dusty. I'll bet you it has a special place on her shelves back home, stained cover visible and all. An adorable, wholesome episode with a great lesson. Thank you, Miss Barrow. Until next time, see ya!